thank you for the organization, ASTP, Red Transfer, Red O3. Thank you, and thank you also for being here in my country, in Seville. That is a very beautiful country where we decide, I say the government decide also recently to locate the Spanish Space Agency. So there is a lot of new things also in Seville, also in this kind of new plans of the government to decentralize agencies. And I think that is also a very good opportunity to visit the city, to enjoy the city, and as they said, to make networking, because we are here also to share some of the space. So as Christoph said, we decided to not make this kind of institutional, large, boring declaration and statements that I respect totally, but I would like more to engage on a discussion or a dialogue with you. I will first make a kind of introduction on where we are in Europe, where we are in Spain, with some figures, what are the plans of the government to tackle what we are talking today, and also I would like to engage on some questions with Christoph, and if you want also to ask me some questions, I think that I will be more than happy to answer it. So, first of all, as I'm going to introduce myself, even if Christoph made it perfectly, it's a very long title, but and sometimes I have to breathe when I'm talking about it. But I would like just to very briefly say that this is a new directorate, the directorate focusing on planification, coordination, but for me, the most important thing, on knowledge transfer. And this new directorate that I have the honor to be on there is new in the structure of the ministry. The ministry has recently been changed by the new government put in place, that it was approved last year, and we started in the ministry merging two areas, research, innovation, and universities. So we have now, again in Spain, a ministry focusing on the three areas, merging research, innovation, and universities. Before, we had the Ministry of Universities and the Ministry of Research and Innovation. And for us, and also for knowledge transfer, I think it's a very good opportunity to be again together, because even if we are in the same government, you know how it works, and it's always better to be closer. So that's the first thing. We have a new ministry on research, innovation, and universities. Second thing, the minister has decided to create a directorate on knowledge transfer. And then I will talk about it a little bit after, why we decided to have some directorate on that. And we have three Secretary Generals, the Secretary General on Innovation, on Research, and on Universities, but my directorate is above those, and I have to coordinate the three areas, where the knowledge is created and where the knowledge is transferred and valorized. So I think it's also a very good news. And I'm just talking about governance, but governance is very important in the ministries and in all organizations, because it also shows a political volunteer to make something different. So once I introduce myself, where I am in the government, what is my mandate, I am going to talk a little bit about the European context, and then I will talk about Spain, and then we will make some questions, okay? So I would like just first to talk about Europe, because I think that's where we are. And we are also a European organization, and I think that we have to, when we are talking about knowledge transfer, we have to be linked to the geopolitical situation, to the different political decisions that has been made. And I would like to refer to the last meeting of the head of states and governments that was taking place in Brussels on the 17th and 18th of April. The 17th was my birthday, so I was not really focusing on the decisions, but I was also looking to it. And the head of governments and the chief of governments and head of states, they were talking about something very, very important. That was how to make Europe again a more competitive economy, based on a more resilient, competitive, and innovation, based on innovation. And I think that when we are talking about innovation, we are talking about knowledge, and we are talking about what we are talking here today. So first of all, they were talking on how to make Europe, how to face for Europe this competitiveness between China and the United States, how to make it again for Europe a more society and economy based on knowledge, more innovative, more resilient after the crisis. So, and this is one thing. So for that, Europe has mandated Enrico Letta, that is an Italian economist, and Mario Draghi, that you also know it, to have to produce a report on how to better integrate the single market and how to make Europe a more competitive economy. So I would like to just to mention the Enrico Letta report, because he's talking about a very important thing. Enrico Letta says in the report that in order to really integrate the single market in Europe, we have to create a 5 freedom. You know that we have the freedom of persons, capitals, goods, and services. So the 5 freedom will be devoted to education, research, innovation, and data. And I think that this is a very, very, very important thing, because Europe cannot become a more competitive economy without having this in mind, without basing their economy on knowledge, on innovation, on this freedom of liberty, of data, and all this is about Europe. So I think that this is a very important thing, and I would like also afterwards to refer where we are also now, what we are talking now in Europe when we are talking on the next framework program. You know that now we are in the framework program on research and innovation on Horizon Europe, but we are right now also within the council group, within Europe, debating how we are going to face the next framework program for research and innovation, and what are going to be the European priorities to face the challenges that we have as Europe, as the European Union. So this is one thing. Also, the head of states and governments, they have focused on some technological areas, priority technological areas, because you know that Europe is also focusing on sovereignty, technological sovereignty, autonomy, and for that they have chosen some strategic technological areas like chips, biotech, health, of course, energy, space. So there are some technological areas where the European Union has put the focus on it, and they are working on these strategic technological sectors. So I think that this is a very important to know where we are. So where we are in Spain, and what is the government going to make, or what is the government making? In Spain now, we have increased the budget on research and innovation from the last 4 years. We have increased the double, the budget devoted to that. We are now in 1.44 expenditures on the GDP on research and development. We are the second country of the European Union that has put more money of the recovery plan on research and innovation. 1 out of 5 new employees are working on digitalization, on innovation, on research. So we have a very nice figures. So you would say, why are you making something if you are so nice, if you are so... So we are facing in Spain still a lot of challenges in terms of knowledge transfer. Why? We are a moderate innovator. If we look into the European innovation scoreboards, I know that there are scoreboards, but the scoreboards tell us something about our situation, and we have to look at it. We are still on the 11th position on producing scientific papers, so good at scientific production, but we are on the 29, 30 position in the ranking, the world ranking on innovation. So we have a very, very, very big problem on valorization, on how to make that knowledge, how to transfer that knowledge, how to make that knowledge useful for the society and for the economy. So that's why the government has put in place all the efforts on knowledge transfer, on knowledge valorization, and that's why I'm here, really. So what we have done in the past to tackle this challenge. We have, in the past, 3 years ago, we asked the Commission, the European Commission, DG Reform, to start with us and study and analyze in order to see where we have these problems and how to tackle it. So with the OECD and the European Commission, we produced a report called The Roadmap for Spain on Knowledge Transfer, with some recommendation. It was produced in 2021, and it was very nice. We had a lot of meetings with the whole ecosystem, and it was very productive. And we engaged all the system, the economic system, the researchers, the technological centers, all the KTOs, all the people was consulted. Once we had this roadmap, we have a law, of course, the law on science and innovation, and we changed the law. we changed the law in 2022 in order to incorporate those recommendations from the OECD and from the European Commission, and in order to better, in order to put knowledge transfer in the center of our actions, making the researchers to have more benefits on the production of on the results of their research, also in order to promote KTOs, to promote valorization, to better organize the governance in Spain, and also to promote the research careers. So the law was approved, but then we thought we have to have something more operative, more to implement the law. We produced two plans. One plan on knowledge transfer, and when we are talking about knowledge transfer, we are talking about something bilateral. It's not only the transfer from the researchers or the research system to the market or to the society, but I think that we have to think on something more dynamic. It's not only from one side to the other side, but I think that, and that's why we have some criticism from some sectors saying transfer, when we're talking about transfer, we're only talking in one direction, and I say, no, I want to think about the concept on a very general dimension, like two sides. It's not only one side to other side. So we have this knowledge transfer plan, and we have other plan that tackle one of also the most important challenges in Spain, that is to attract and to retain talent. Because when we are talking about knowledge transfer, we are talking about talent. We have a huge amount of talent, very good researchers, but we have a big problem of these people emigrating to other countries because the conditions are not good enough to them. So we have these two plans in order to tackle those situations, and now we create also a group of experts to help the government to implement those plans. So that on the strategic plan, on the strategic side. Recently, also this year, the president announced the creation of a very interesting thing that we can also talk about it afterwards, that is the National Office on Scientific Advice. That means there's not many experiences in other countries, only in UK, United States, Canada, New Zealand, but there are not many countries that are working on that, as such, and if we really believe on policies based on data, on scientific knowledge, we want really to have something inside the government to inform public policies. So we have created a national office that is located in the office of the Prime Minister, and these national offices will locate, because we are still, this is a project that is still, it has been created just 2 months ago, we will locate some scientific advisors in each of the ministries, even in each of the cabinets of the ministers, to inform, to help, to really give all the scientific knowledge to the public policies. So I think it's also a very interesting initiative that I wanted to share with you, because it's something it's also a priority from my government. And just in order to finish, because I think that the most interesting thing is also to engage on some questions, I would like to talk about the territory. I'm on a ministry, I'm all located in Madrid, but we cannot make anything on a very decentralized country as Spain, where innovation is taking place in the territory without making it with the territory. So we have, a number of coordinating bodies to coordinate with regions, with cities, but I would like to mention 2 initiatives. We are working with the territories, with the regions, on a new plan on research and innovation for knowledge valorization. So we will really focus on regional plans for knowledge valorization. And we will also would like to focus on how to engage cities on knowledge transfer. And this is something that we have also learned from, for example, some countries in Europe, that they have worked on what they say, the association between cities and universities, in the sense that how the mayors, how the cities, how the municipalities engage on the major challenges of the cities with their universities, how to link knowledge that is produced in some place to face, to tackle, to help municipalities to face their challenges. As for example, in Valencia, 2 years ago, they approved a plan called Missions 2030, Missions 2030. This is a plan to decarbonize, to make this climate neutral transition for the city. And it's also part of this climate neutral cities mission of the European Union. So Valencia decided to engage the university, Universidad Politécnica de Valencia and University of Valencia, to be part of the project as a living lab, as a test bed, using sandboxes. So all the instruments that the new European innovation agenda give us. And how to make it? With a strategic relationship between the mayor and the leaders of the different universities of Valencia to tackle this transition to become a city, a climate neutral city. So I think that this is also knowledge transfer. When we talk about knowledge transfer, we are also talking about it. So we would like to work with territories, with regions. We would like to work with cities, working really together on seeing how to help them to transfer, to valorize their knowledge, to tackle the most challenging things that the cities has now in Spain. And we would like as well to work with you to see how can we help KTOs, how can we help technological centers, how can we help the whole ecosystem to valorize their knowledge. We hope in the next months to approve a royal decree, and a strategic document on incentivize researchers to make valorization. This is called in Spain Sexenio de Transferencia. That is, for the moment being in Spain, we incentivize researchers to make scientific production, but we are now focusing on how to incentivize researchers to make this knowledge transfer.